Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's JY Prime. So, for those of you that aren't aware, Fortnite has added a mode called Infinity Gauntlet, which basically is a mode where there's a meteorite which drops the Infinity Gauntlet from Avengers Infinity War from the Marvel Comics series. Basically, if you pick it up, you become Thanos, the villain of the Marvel Universe. As you can see right here, that meteor is actually carrying the Infinity Gauntlet. Just a quick disclaimer, I did record this video using the replay mode built into Fortnite, so obviously the gameplay is not going to be exactly as it was live, like on my screen, so just keep that in mind. So one person on the map is able to pick up the gauntlet. It's a solo queue mode, so everybody's, individuals. There's no squads or anything like that. So basically, you pick up the Infinity Gauntlet and you become Thanos, and you are basically able to use all of his powers. You're able to use the Power Stone to shoot like a laser beam kind of thing. You're able to also use a punch that uses the Time Stone, and then you're able to use basically a jump ground pound or ground slam, however you want to call it, with the Space Stone. And so basically, Thanos has 1,000 health in total. He has, I think he has 800 health and 700, or no, I'm sorry, 800 health and 200 shield. So the shield is actually regeneratable, I guess. Every time you kill somebody, the shield regenerates. His health will not regenerate though, so you will not be able to get it back at any point. So basically, the big thing while you're playing Thanos is to be aware of your surroundings. He is very, very powerful if you know how to use him, but his abilities do put him in a very vulnerable position. So, for example, you can see right here, whenever you use the Power Stone laser ability, it basically takes him a while to. He has to sit in one place for a while and just channel it for a good 3 or 4 seconds, and he can't move or defend himself or anything like that. And obviously he can't build any forts or anything. He can't build any structures. So you kind of have to use structures around you, the natural environment for your own protection, which you kind of see me doing here in the footage. It's actually really, really hard to stay alive as Thanos from the beginning to the end of the game. Normally what happens is you pick up the gauntlet. The first person who gets the gauntlet picks it up. They become Thanos for a while, and then somebody kills them. And then once you kill Thanos, he drops the Infinity Gauntlet, and then somebody else can go pick it up and become Thanos. And they start out with 100 health or the full amount of health and everything again, and it just repeats like that until somebody wins the game. But I was actually able to complete an entire game without ever losing the Infinity Gauntlet from start to finish, which I haven't seen too many other people, being able to do. So I just thought it'd be kind of cool to give you guys a gameplay of that. And some tips that I think would be helpful for if you're trying to get a full game as Thanos, or just trying to play Thanos better in general. First of all, like I said, he's very vulnerable. His abilities make him very vulnerable. Like his jump, especially, he can't do anything while he's charging it up. He just has to stand there for a good 3 seconds and just charge it up. So if you're getting shot at, you don't want to most of the time you're not going to want to just start jumping. You don't want to spam jump like you would normally if you were just playing Fortnite. Normally, jump around and try to, evade the enemy shots. That's obviously not going to work in this case, so you're going to want to use your jump very strategically. Same with his other abilities. His laser or his power beam is powerful, but it does take a while to kill somebody, especially if they have a full shield or even just half of a shield. It does take a good amount of time to kill them, so be aware of that when you're engaging in fights and whatnot. The range is also not unlimited. The laser beam looks like it has pretty much an unlimited range, but it actually does not. You can kind of tell at what point the damage fall off is going to happen. As long as they're within like normal gun range for you, normal AR range or so, it's most likely gonna work. You shouldn't have any problems with that, but don't try to like snipe people with it because that's not gonna work. So other than that, yeah. So he is very vulnerable because obviously his hitbox is huge. He's a huge guy. He does move really fast though. His footsteps are pretty much audible anywhere in the near vicinity. So, and plus you're always available to be seen on the mini map. If you're Thanos, you can always be seen on the mini map. So, enemy players can always know exactly where you are, exactly where you're going, and so you have to take that into account when you're trying to either sneak up on people or just play strategically. You have to make sure that you're aware that other people know exactly where you are at all times. So also his jump use that for mobility. So his jump is not, if you see somebody and you feel like just jumping and ground slamming them, make sure that before you do that, you're not just jumping into a situation where you're going to get stuck and just mowed down by a bunch of other people. Try to single somebody out, get them isolated from other people, and then you can jump and ground slam, because a successful ground slam will actually pretty much kill the person. It won't always kill them if they have full shields and whatnot, but it will set them up so that you can pretty much just turn around and laser beam them in the face and finish them off. And also, if you see somebody pop a fort, or port a fort or make a fort or something like that, and you know that they're probably in there, you might as well just go ahead and ground slam it, even if you don't know that they're in there, because you can easily just take it out and see if there's anybody hiding anywhere. Same with buildings. So another important thing to keep in mind actually is to stay out of populated areas as much as possible. So there will be times when it will be useful to go into and enter populated areas or named areas like Retail Row, Tilted Towers, places where a bunch of people are gathered most of the time. But definitely not at the beginning of the game, especially not at the beginning of the game, because obviously those places are going to be swarming with enemies right off the bat. So it's not a good idea to just drop immediately down into one of those areas and just get mowed down by 20 players from all different directions that are all trying to kill you. It's better to just stick to the outskirts at the beginning of the game. Just kind of take out the stragglers, people that are just running around the field, and then towards the end of the game you can start heading into the named areas, clearing out the extra people that are still there, and using the buildings for cover. But other than that, you really want to stay out in the open. It is kind of hard that way because you don't really have any cover besides trees and mountains and stuff, but it's definitely better than walking to a populated area where you can just get shot and easily killed, because Thanos does have 1,000 health. It is a lot of health, but if you're getting shot by 4 or 5 people at the same time, you're going to go down, really, really fast. So other than that, the main thing is you're going to be the prime target in this game mode. Everybody wants to be Thanos. So they're all going to be going after you for the most part. Some players will, kind of probably try to hide until the end of the game and then try to take you out so that they can get Thanos at full health. Because whenever they pick up the Infinity Gauntlet, after killing you, they get the full health of Thanos back. So some players will try to wait to the end of the game and try to take advantage of the fact that you gain full health with Thanos and just try to win the game like that. But other than that, everybody else is going to be trying to kill you throughout the entire game. You just got to expect that. People are going to rush you. It's not going to make sense a lot of times. They're just going to rush in and try to kill you with their shotgun. You have to get to know Thanos' abilities. You don't want to use the wrong ability. If you use the wrong ability at the wrong time, it can really put you in a bad situation. You can end up losing a lot of health, or you can, worst case scenario, die because you accidentally channeled, say his laser beam ability when the person standing right in front of you could easily just punch them, and you can't. It's really hard to, shoot the laser at somebody who's jumping all around in your face, and you can't aim straight. And you wind up dying just because you accidentally activated the laser instead of punching them in the face. And also his punch is it is short range. Like it doesn't really have a very wide cone or cone of effect, or what do you want to call it, and so you got to be careful with that. He does kind of move forward every time he punches. It does give him a little bit of a boost forward, but if they're out of your range, just go for the laser beam. Even if they build and block the laser beam, it still means they've walled themselves in, and you can either just walk up and punch through their fort and kill them that way, or you can jump up in the air if you think it's safe to channel your jump, and then just obviously come slam down on top of them, or just shoot them with a laser beam from midair. So the main things to keep in mind are Thanos is very, very powerful. Obviously, his size makes him vulnerable, and the fact that his abilities root him in place for a short time also makes him incredibly vulnerable. But if you know how to use him correctly, you can go on some massive sprees with him, and I'm talking massive. Like, I've been on, I think my largest spree with him was like 26 kills. I didn't wind up winning that game because I got killed at the end, but I did get 26 kills, and I thought that was amazing. So he is incredible, but it will take some time to learn how to use each of his moves, when to use each of his moves. And yeah, he only has 3 main moves, but there's a lot of combinations that can go into that, and the fact that there's not really any cooldown time on any of his abilities is really useful. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys. I might make another video on just a quick video on how to best get the gauntlet at the beginning of the game, how to predict where the gauntlet's going to land and whatnot. So if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll be sure to keep uploading content like this. Thanks.